Hey everybody, and welcome back to Dreamland. Long time no see. Where the heck have you guys been? Just kidding. It's entirely my fault. Sorry for the long wait. A lot's happened since the last video, including a brand new update. We're now in 1.20. We got new mobs, we got a new biome, we got archaeology, a new wood type. So much has been added to the game since we last saw each other, so first thing we should do is go get some of that new stuff. So let's go. After flying around in some new chunks, I finally found a cherry blossom biome. And I had to stop and really admire the falling petals and all the life that it brings to a world. And I liked it so much that I went and downloaded a falling leaves mod for the other biomes, and I'll leave a link to that down below. But the cherry blossom biome wasn't the end of my journey. No, it was far from it. I traveled the hottest deserts, the wild jungles, and even other dimensions, searching far and wide for my treasures. This little adventure even sent me to the bottom of the deepest ocean, where I conquered many ocean monuments and killed over 70 Elder Guardians and still have no tide trim to show for it. I even traveled to a woodland mansion where I captured and looted it easy peasy. Now putting my unmatched bravery to the test, I even conquered a few ancient cities. Just in case anybody was wondering, 8 Wardens. 80 Elder Guardians, though. And as you can see here, my journey was very successful. I've got all the armor trims, the netherite upgrade template, everything you could possibly need, except for the tide armor trim. I also came across a whole lot of those new pottery shards and a few sniffer eggs, but you'll see more of those later on in the tour. For now, we have a whole lot to see, so let's get going. Alright, so I'm going to start this tour with the part of the farming district you guys saw me build in the last episode, which is really just these 2 houses you see behind me. But we're going to follow the path, and we're going to try not to miss any details, because I've got a whole lot to show you, so let's go. So starting up the path here, we run into another mod I need to talk to you guys about, but that is the connectable chains. It just makes chains connect horizontally. You can still jump over it in most places. It's just purely aesthetic, so you may see this on some builds, you may see this along some paths to help push the player in the right direction, but I thought it was cute, so I'm just going to keep it here for aesthetic. And now we're following the path up to the mushroom courtyard, where we have this cute little well surrounded by clay pots and barrels and just neat little decorations. And that's right here next to our mushroom field, where my mushrooms live happily ever after, right here under their crimson mushrooms. And if you go to the right of the mushroom courtyard, you have the torchflower field up against the sheep barn. You also have the sniffer farm. Look, he's sniffing right now. Good job. So from this little courtyard, you can branch off into many different directions. I just showed you guys to the right over here by the sniffers, so now I'm going to show you guys to the left, and we can just meet back in the middle. And over here to the left of the mushrooms is the tavern. It's got a nice little pigsty. I'm using a muddy pig resource pack to make them look a little dirtier than usual. I think it's really cute. I love that. Also got a couple barrels and some pots, just some nice little decorations for the player to find. And if you come around the corner of the brown mushrooms and the dandelions blowing in the wind, you'll come across the apple cart. This is where I store my apples. He's got barrels of apples here he's willing to sell. Just name your price and just put it in the barrel and you're good to go. So the tavern's a great place for all the farmers to come hang out after a long, hard days of work and enjoy some nice, delicious pumpkin pie grown right there in the backyard. It's also where I store my pumpkins and pumpkin seeds, and it's just a really nice build. I really like the way this one came out. So just past our little pumpkin patch is a nice little berry vineyard that runs up this hill leading you to the hay barn. And just to the side of that, we have a little area right here where you can make juice or wine. A couple open barrels with different berries inside for you to smash and get the juice out. Following that trail though, you walk into a melon patch. Cute little melon patch right in front of the hay barn. As you can see, that's where I've been storing my goats. And I've had to tie them because, well, they jump and escape out of everything. This is also where I store the hay bales. You know, hay barn, hay bales, it only makes sense. And out the back over here, you have a nice little fishing dock. This is where I'm going to show you the other mod that you need to see. The next mod I want to show you is called Wakes, and as you can see here, it just adds little ripples and splashes to the game that actually feel really true to the vanilla Minecraft experience. This mod is actually just really fun to play around with, and it brings a whole lot of life to the world, so check it out. Here we are in the middle of the farming district and about halfway through with our tour, so let's slow down here for a second, check out this butcher shop, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And here in the basement of the butcher shop, we have a fully functioning cow and chicken farm. So you have leather, you have steak, you have feathers, you have eggs, and chickens. Now going around the pitcher pods and past the chickens will bring you to the next area I want us to take a look at, and that is the wood storage and lumberjack house. So let's go take a look. And from our wood storage, we just have a nice little shelter with a bunch of wood types. Just piles of wood laying around, really, and each pile will have a chest full of logs, might even have shulkers full of logs, depending on what tree it is. I have a ton of oak, that's why that's all in there. And then it'll also have a barrel nearby with slabs and stairs and fence posts and saplings and leaves and everything that comes from that wood. Over here I have birch, spruce, acacia, mangrove, even have a bamboo workstation that I also store bamboo stuff in. And if you follow the hill up here, you run into the jungle wood and the cherry blossom wood, and then you run into the lumberjack house. And the lumberjack house is special because that is where you'll find your crimson and your whoop wood, and they're respectable barrels. And over here, right behind the lumberjack's house, is this really nice mushroom garden overshadowed by this great big red mushroom. Just another area for the player to explore and possibly even find some chests to loot. Alright, and following down our path, we come into the area that the leathersmith lives in. He's got his horse stables, he's got a little work area where he's over here making saddles and leather armor and all kinds of leather stuff. He's got a little yard over here. He races the horses and he rides the horses around and lets them exercise. And here we have the horse stables, little wagon out front. The travelers might come by with their weird animals sometimes and have to house them here in the stables. Got donkeys and horses, and this will eventually be the path out of the village and across the river and a trail through the woods to another adventure. I also have this cute little mule off to the side over here. Absolutely adorable. I love him. I need to get him a friend because he's all alone in here. I'm sorry. And this is the leathersmith's house. Nothing in there yet. Interiors are going to be their own episode, but I do really like this house. There's one last area we need to take a look at, and it's right here through the sheep barn. Our llamas live over there. We have our beekeeper living over here. We grow our crops over here. And if you look around, it's just lovely. It's a lovely area of the farming district. It's beautiful over here. Probably one of my favorite areas to just go hang out around. But let's get in there and take a closer look, shall we? Now, coming out of the sheep barn, you can go left or right. Both directions will bring you to the same path going up to the farmer's house over there. But if you go left real fast, you'll run into our resident llama. He had a friend, I guess escaped, not sure. But I'm gonna have to get him a buddy too, I guess. Now the path to the right takes you to the water wheel house, where you can see we have an aqueduct that sends all the water over to the crops in our field. We also have a little work area for the beekeeper so he can store away his honey in barrels and jars. He might even store his tools over here, who knows. But if you walk just past that a little ways, you'll see our rainbow sheep. These are the sheep that started it all, the parents to all the ones in the barn, and the reason we have all the colors of wool that we have. And finally, those two paths meet up and lead you straight to our farmer and beekeeper's house. You'll see a couple of these bee nests dotted along the path here, but inside the beekeeper's house we have our bee farm. And it's been working. I've got a lot of extra stock over here of different stuff. It's pumping out honey as we speak. Look at him. He's also got another little workstation over here with a couple more bee nests and just some barrels of honey laying around. And walking up our path to the farmer's house, we have more beekeeper's nests, just little bee nests and beehives here and there. We also have this little pump well. I saw this on Pinterest, and if I can find the original creator, I will leave a link to that in the description below. But I thought this was too cute to pass up, and the farmer would definitely be the guy that needs this. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. If you like the way Dreamland is shaping out, let me know about it down in the comments. Or maybe you think there's something I forgot, or I should add a little detail to bring some more life to the world. If you have any ideas or suggestions, let me know down in the comments. And until next time, have a good night.